So with CPI tomorrow, markets are coiled and ready for a massive trend move. Are we going to explode or are we going to crash? Let's find out here with our daily SPY analysis. Again, today is Tuesday, February 11, 2025. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for free TA every day. And come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Again, real quick before we get into it, I'll say this one more time. I am looking to do some sort of webinar here. If we get to 5,000 subscribers, I'll do one for free. But I did make a community post. Go check that out. I will create a poll maybe later tonight or tomorrow on like kind of narrowing it down a little bit. So I got a lot of suggestions now, but I do want to do one for maybe like, again, like $25, $50. Like I'll kind of keep it a cheap entry fee. I do have full courses and stuff available on the website, but I want to keep it kind of cheap just to get people in. And maybe if it goes really well, we'll do them once a month and we'll do like a package or something like that we can do. So let me know in the comments. But anyway, let's get into it here. Market's set to close here. It's about, we've got about 3 minutes left. And interesting day. We had a nice gap down this morning, which ended up being a pretty good dip buy for us in the trading room this morning. And we kind of chopped around on Powell. Actually, we popped up on Powell testifying in front of Congress, and there was really not much there. It was really kind of he just said essentially what he's been saying. And so you saw some hedges pop off. We had a little bit of an afternoon dip, but a higher low. And then we did inch up to new highs here, and we're going to close right around that 605 handle. We've been telling you, I said that this morning in the short video, that was probably about max upside for the day. And you can see the cues there, same thing, 530. Went there almost to the tick, and it did back off. Some news this morning, though, Apple partnering with BABA. And that stock got a very big pop, up 2% on the day with their new AI phone, AI this, AI that. And BABA up 1.25%, so nice moves on those two stocks. But right now, we have CPI tomorrow, and this market is set, it's coiled to move. I'll show you a couple of things here. So I did touch on it yesterday, but I did dig a little deeper into it today. But take a look at the BB width here on the weekly. And just go back. It's tight, right? The last time there was this tight, we had a big explosion, even during the bear periods here. So towards the end, that was kind of the end of the bear. And we're obviously have a wider width now than we used to, a lot more volatility. But we're tight here. And if we even look on, I'm just going to show you the ES here. The daily's starting to get down there, but like even on like the 4 hour, it's ready, right? It's ready. You're right before the 2 tariff dumps. That's where we were, and we're here. So CPI is tomorrow. It's likely going to be a catalyst of some sort. So is it going to pump or is it going to dump? Well, I'll present you both cases here, and you can argue about it in the comments if you want. But the bull side here is what I said yesterday, right? The gap down, market's fighting off bad news. We didn't even gap down halfway to what we did the previous 2 times, and we have higher lows now. Additionally, nice wedge there that kind of indicates how tight the pattern is. There's even a smaller one side. Definitely can see that move. But additionally, look at breadth weekly, McClellan in the basement. Daily hasn't quite reset yet. That's a bear point, which we'll get into in a second. But the bull point, that higher low. Additionally, if we just measured move this thing, 200 points, about 190, right? It's about close, right? It overshot a little bit and it missed, undercut a little bit. But, oh yeah, 190 points. What's that plus, 60.15, right? It takes you up to, 6,200 essentially. That's going to be about 6,250 SPX if that measured move completes. And additionally, looking at the daily, you can see there, I mean, what is this? Just kind of a bull flag look, right? So that's the positive. Trend is up. Moving averages are holding. 20 above the 50, 50 above the 100, 100 above the 200. Even the ES here, we tested those intraday here. No damage. Weekly, NQ, bull flag, right? It's tight. That's the positives there. The negatives is, and market closing here, by the way. What I mentioned before, I'd really like to see that McClellan reset on the daily here to kind of confirm that it's ready on the weekly. Additionally, we've got, headlines everywhere. VIX kind of has been elevated. Implied volatility for tomorrow dropping a little bit on the put side. Maybe the market's a little underhedged. So that's a possibility. And the bear side here is you still, technically have lower highs. So I guess you got to just decide for yourself there. But again, I just defer to trend, and that is up right now. We could still get one more higher low here. There's still a lot of room. I mean, we could go down. We could even go down to 590, 595, fill out this wedge again, or this bull flag. So I can't rule that out. We have OPEX next week too. We could just remain pinned until then. But again, we've been hammering on this 608, 610 area for a while here. So eventually, you knock on that door enough times, it breaks open. Another thing too, I would say is probably a positive is, I don't have any proof of this right now, but I would just assume that bond shorts are piling in again. And why do I think that? Because that's what they always do. But TLT, short interest is at an all-time high by far. And I think the market is trying to hedge for this CPI. But at this point, to me, logically, inflation is the expectation now, right? So if anything, you should be hedged the other way, right? If you're positioned for there to be inflation and you want to hedge your portfolio, you want to hedge for the other tail, which would be bonds rallying or a cooler than normal print. I think if the print comes in Goldilocks or even just like slightly elevated, I think ZB can rally again. I did a whole article on this over the weekend on the website. Check it out; it's really good stuff. Additionally, RTY. That would be helpful for that. You still have the bull inside bar here on the daily too. One thing I have noticed though, the last 2 days, RTY, and we've mentioned this the last couple of weeks actually, the banks are long, right? They've been long and they've paired that with a short NQ. The last 2 days, that's not been the case. I mean, look at the Qs out of the gate this morning. Look at that rally, got to green way before the spiders did, and the Russell was weak. So I'm wondering if banks are starting to cover shorts on NQ and start to take profits out on RTY or start to just dump RTY. That doesn't mean RTY can't bid, especially if we get a good print tomorrow. I think it will bid actually. This pattern's still fire, but we could be starting to see that rotation out now that Amazon earnings are out of the way. Saw Apple this morning. It was strong. Look at Nvidia. It was strong yesterday. Had a pretty good day today. I mean, it wasn't up, but it held sideways. So just kind of basing here. So seeing that strength here in mega caps again. By the way, did Meta, got it done. Yeah, that's what, 15 now? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17? Yeah, wow. So if there's 17 for Meta, I think Flix came down. But either way, yeah, I am seeing that rotation here. So just be aware. Intel with a big day too. Qs again, still 530. That's the big level. If we break above that, I don't think there's much stopping it for right now. IWM held 225. That's where it needed to hold. 230 on the upside. Dow up 30 basis points. Not a bad pattern there either. SMH was strong today. Up 25 cents even when the market dipped. But this has been basing here too. So I mean, this market. I mean, look at ES again. Like, it's coiled. That's ready for a multi-day trend at least. Semis again, same thing. So tight. It's ready for a move. AMD was up too. IGV down 1%, but again, off the lows, and it's still hammering on this 106. So not a bad pattern there. And that has room for higher lows on top of that. Transports were strong today, up 40 basis points. Again, another higher high. Still a messy chart here with a lower high there and a higher high here. So kind of in no man's land unless we can reclaim 16.6. Short term though, 16.2 is a pivot point and it is above that. That's hanging on there. Flipping over to interest rates here, you see the HK futures held up today with BABA news. But interest rates, 2-year, 5s, the 2s were kind of flat, so long end of the curve got a bid. Again, I think the long end shorts are jumping in here. So that's what we're seeing. I have no position in bonds yet, but I might if I see something I like tomorrow. XHB up 34 cents. That's hanging on. It's in trouble, though. I don't like that pattern. VNQ, on the other hand, is holding up. So REITs showing some divergence versus home builders. Nice and tight here. Still bear dominant right now, though, on the weekly. You know, by a little bit. This is a nice higher low, though. XLF was interesting today. Gap down. It closed green. Look at JPM. Here's a point for the bulls, right? I mean, this is just absurd strength. Still hasn't broken above that breakdown bar, but I mean, look at this trend. Got Morgan Stanley, Goldman, they're all right near all-time highs too. ARE nicely green again, holding the moving averages. Got a good bid, so nice outside move, engulfing candle. ABE holding up nicely as well. Broker dealer still above trend. All the moving averages. Real quick too, while we're looking at oil, there was some chatter about ceasefire, and I know that Trump was talking about that. I believe one of the someone from Russia is I don't know, one of those ambassadors or meeting or something like that. I will say though, I'm not seeing it from oil here. So we could have ceasefire news. Be ready for that. That's also a big catalyst. Keep that on your radar. But I'm not seeing it from oil. Oil should be selling if that's the case. If we see oil sell off all of a sudden, then I'll really start to believe that that we might get that news. So keep that on, in the back of your mind right now. But oil up 87 cents, it's kind of telling me that that might just be noise at the moment. But I will respect it though. That said, oil still got to get through 74. Kind of in no man's land. I haven't touched it. XLE was strong today though. So cleared that reversal bar from last week. So did XOM. Possible working on a double bottom here, W pattern here, kind of like what copper had. Full disclosure, I do own Exxon. Putting that out there. XOP, higher high. Finished off the highs though, and then OIH as well. Watch these two. I mean, may try to do an inverse head and shoulder here. Same thing with OIH. I mean, line. Not the greatest, but hasn't triggered yet. You've got these bear inside bars here on these other on the uranium plays. So be careful with these. Nat gas trying to continue up here. So if this can take out the high, I'm not sure when this rolls, but if this takes out the high, that would be weekly higher highs for the first time in a long, except for this little outlier, the first time in a long time. So I don't use the continuous because it's messy, especially on the weekly. I guess technically, yeah, I guess this is adjusted. Yeah, technically, I guess you got that. I think your swim adjusted on the weekly and messes it up if you don't. Yeah, technically, nat gas maybe putting in lows here. But watch for pattern, needs to hold $3 though. Still some supply up here. Dollar index was interesting today. There was a big dip. I did not see news. Again, there's been dips here intraday on a lot of things, even without news, and that was the case today. We didn't get any news here or here that I know of. Just little headlines that moved the tape a lot. You can see here the dollar. Sorry, I'm trying to go to the after. Yeah, dollar got whacked really hard, bounced off the lows, and now just kind of languishing. Still okay on the daily though, but there is room for lower highs now, and we don't want to see 107 gone, otherwise this is going down. Gold, new all-time high, but it did pull back. There is some distribution here. That's definitely distribution, make no mistake about it. But it's still going to 3K. So I still think I mean, look, it's right there. I mean, we talked about this price target back in November, December. I said this should happen by late Q1, early Q2, and it's not even late Q1 yet, and we're already basically there. So very, very quick action here, and I was just trying to give it some time on the clock in case, it took more. I kind of figured it would happen earlier than later, but this probably gets up to 3, pulls back, and then makes another higher high, maybe like 31. I can see into March, April, but take a look at how fiercely this dip was bought, especially on silver. That was a fierce dip buy. That is bull market behavior. I think this can go to $38. Tomorrow, I don't know what happens. Does it CPI? It could fail, and then maybe it needs to go lower first, but holding up. Got an inside bar there. platinum fractionally higher, but it dipped really hard and then came back green. And then same thing with palladium, fractionally lower, but finished nicely off the lows. So those are still acting well. Copper finally had a reversal down 250, 2.5% rather. And we knew that there was going to be resistance right there at 470, like we said. But beautiful pattern there. And for me, I'm hoping that's what Exxon does. Usually I like to see a slight lower low though, but all good. Crypto coin's a little soft today, especially towards the end of the day. Though slight outside move on Bitcoin, but it's still within this little range here. Again, it's noise. Don't make too much out of it. Do not overtrade this range here. I do think the alts can get a squeeze though. I think there may be one coming around the corner. But still kind of weak here. A lot of demand in this area though. That's still strong. Look at Cardano. So Cardano taking a chance, taking its turn. Yesterday it was Litecoin. Today we got Cardano with the big bid. But noisy right now. I still think there can be a good squeeze though. So tomorrow, again, just we're coiled here. We're definitely coiled. I think we're going to get a couple day trend move here. Don't be surprised to see a trap tomorrow morning again, like Monday. That doesn't mean that it turns into a multi-month trend move, but I definitely think at least a couple of days. And just watch that weekly. I mean, it's tight. It doesn't mean it's going to happen now or next week, but it's coming soon. So we've been in this range for 3-4 months now. We talked about wide range chop being a thing, and that's been the case. Trend traders are going to get screwed trying to chase trend, but we're getting close now. We're tight enough where we can see a big move pretty shortly. So anyways, guys, I will wrap it up here. Again, you guys take care. Don't forget to subscribe. Let me know your thoughts about the webinar, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow.